Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. I did a lot of tree work in December and January, and now the trees are starting to come back into leaf, so it's quite exciting. I'm just kind of maintaining the new shoots, removing the ones I don't want, and letting the ones that are in a good position begin to grow. A lot of the trees will need pruning in the next couple of weeks, so I'm hoping to get my temple done, and then we can get back to the tree work. Yesterday, I assembled the midsection of the temple and I started casting my little sprite figures in cement. So I have one more to open from the mold. I let it dry overnight because the cement seemed a little soft. Seems good and hard now, so I'll try opening it up. All right, here I go. Hopefully it doesn't break in half. Oh, it's still crumbly, but I don't know. Maybe it was just didn't mix the cement up very well. We'll see. We'll see if it comes out here okay. And in one piece. I don't know, it just... Oh, see, it just broke in half. And I was just, I was hardly pushing on it. What is with the cement? I've never seen it so brittle. Well, I have a casting out. I can join it back together again. The casting's okay, actually. I just don't know why the cement is so brittle. Maybe I mixed the cement up, it started thickening up, and I added more water to it, and then it made it brittle like this. That's the only thing I can think. So, that's too bad. But I will use it, I hope. Hopefully it's strong enough to withstand the elements. I think it is. I had the plasticine kind of sticking to the Das clay, so I'm just scraping it off, and then I'm going to spray it with a silicone spray, the kind used for rubber and that. And I'll see if that releases from the mold better without the plasticine kind of sticking to the clay here. I think it will. I think it'll do a good job. Okay, so I've got it all cleaned up now. Now I can spray it, and we'll add my molding material around it. Make sure it's nice and soft so it gets all the details. I'll mix my cement up just right, and I think I'll get a good casting this time. I found my vinyl and rubber care. It's like a silicone spray. The only trouble is it was outside in the truck and it's kind of partially frozen. So yeah, I gotta let that thaw for a bit before I spray it on my my form here. So we'll be back in a little while. I could put more than, just the one in the center, but I don't know if I like it as much. I think just the one in the center, and then I put some fancy cement work each side of it. I think that'll look good. I just think it'll look too crowded and monotonous if I have too many of the figures around the base. I don't know. And again, I'm not after, making this an accurate replica. It's kind of inspired by the Cambodian temples, and it'll kind of be my own creation, I guess. So I think I'm going to stick with the one in the middle. I've thought about it, and I tried it out a couple of times last night, and I like the fact that this one, has the base behind it and it sticks out. I got to square it up, but I like that. It makes the base look more solid and rigid, and it supports the top better. So I think I'm going to stick with this, and then I'll put something in the middle, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do there. It could be a column, a fancy column. Yeah, something. I'll have to look at some reference pictures and try and get some ideas, I guess. My silicone spray, it's almost thawed out. I can hear ice chunks in there, but it's coming along. It's probably at the point where I could probably get enough to spray on my form here, but I'll leave it a little longer. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up some of these cement castings, and I'll start the process of making more of these centerpieces with the blocks behind them. I think that's important to get the 4 in the corners. And I'll use the ones that are broken, because that way they'll be reinforced by the piece behind it. Maybe. I don't know. I may recast some. I'm going to see how well the next castings come out. You know, some of them came out really nice. That one's really good. This one's really good. So I've got 2 really good ones. And then, you know, 3 that were okay. One thing I do like, because the cement, each time you mix the cement up, you get a little different ratio of water and cement. So you get naturally a different color. If you look at this piece, it's quite dark in color. And some of them, like this one, are very light in color. So I like that. I like that natural patina on the temple, that some pieces are darker and some are lighter. I think that'll increase as it gets older. It'll get its own patina, and it should start looking quite nice. So it looks like we're in for a beautiful sunny day today, which is just awesome. The plants just do so well in the sunshine. It hasn't hit the plant room yet, but it'll be coming here very soon. There's a few trees that are starting to light up. So that's kind of exciting. I've cleaned up my block with my figure on it, and I'm getting ready to cement it to the side here. So I'm just keeping this surface wet. Yeah, so that'll go in place. And then I've got 2 good castings that I could put each side here, like that. So I'll have to build up cement behind those. That'll be interesting. I may have to do that detail on there first. The one I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. So I'll have to think about that first, I think. So I'll keep this soaking in water, getting it ready for cementing. And then I'll come back. I'll think about what I'm going to put in here. I've also, my silicone spray is thawed out. So I'm going to spray the form here. And I'll see if it works. Maybe it'll just soak into the clay, I don't know, but yeah, we'll see if that makes it kind of slippery. I was thinking a lot about what I'm going to do in this area, and I decided on some rectangular columns in the end. I thought about round ones, but then there's nothing to connect to up top here. So I think something like this, a column with a, you know, fancy piece at the top and a fancy piece at the bottom, and I'll probably put some texture in the columns. So the columns are set back. It just fell apart. The columns are set back from this face, and they kind of make a nice transition into the corner pieces. I think that'll look quite good. I was looking at all the, you know, Angkor Wat and all the temples, and a lot of them do have columns, you know, beside the faces here running down. So yeah, most of them do have the, you know, the people all the way around, but I just think, because I made these such a large scale, I think it would just look a little too much if I had too many people going around. So I think this will be a good solution. I'm going to need to make 8 of these columns, and I think I'll model it with the Das clay. I want to put a lot of detail into it, and it'll make the casting a lot easier. If I have a form, I can just put the plasticine around it and cast them. So I'll get sculpting and see if I can make a really nice column. All right, I'll open my clay up. And I'll get out enough to do the column. I think that's looking pretty close to the size I need. Maybe I'll just get a little more. I'd rather trim off the excess. Okay, so I'll knead that into a nice piece. So these pillars in these temples are very fancy. Every part of these temples is fancy. They're all carved with intricate carvings, patterns, people. It's just amazing. So I'll have to try and duplicate that in my columns here. Okay, so I'll just spray my knife, and I think I'll use that to kind of cut it to size. So here I go. I'll see if this works. Well, it sort of works. Just here, like that. That kind of gets my column in the right ballpark. Now I've got to add my decorative pieces to each end. And now I think I have to get my carving tools out. All right. Yeah, I was thinking there's this tool here. Oh. That has the ridges on the end. So I was thinking maybe I can carve the grooves in the column with this. I'll give it a try. So this tool is normally used for roughing up clay. If you want to join clay, you put grooves in it. If I can show you this. So you rough up the clay with grooves, and then you put grooves in the piece you're joining, like that, and then you stick it together, and it makes really good contact. So they use that a lot in pottery. In this case, it puts grooves in a column. All right, so I'm going to start with a straight section and then a round. So actually I'll cut the round out first. So I know this isn't, I'll do it on this bottom one first. Here we go. So you just drag this hoop-shaped piece across, and you get kind of, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it gets that little scoop. That way it looks a little better. Okay, so the height is right. The details aren't looking very good yet, but I will get there, I hope. Yeah, I think that looks okay. I'm going to put a pattern in it. Sort of like a spiral pattern. I've seen that a lot on these temples. Everything's looking square. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So that is going to be my column. I think it'll look good. We'll let that dry now. I'm ready to attach my figure in the center here. So I'll mix up some cement and put it in place so it'll go right there. Be very exciting. All right, here I go. I'm all ready. I'll put the cement on this piece first. Putting it on the back here. And I'm just going to line it up by eye, I think. It's looking very good. I'll let that set, and then I'll spray down the excess. I've got a lot of kind of excessive cement here. I'm going to continue working away. I've got to make 3 more blocks with the person in the middle for this part. I've got to cast my pillars, and I've got to cast more of these sprites. So I'm going to be busy this afternoon. I thought while it's nice and sunny out, we'll head over to the community orchard and we'll have a quick update. I'm going to head over to the community gardens now. I just thought I'd show you our pathway here that we get our bikes through. It's quite the snowbanks each side. All right, over to the community gardens I go. Well, here I am out at the community orchard, First Nations garden, community gardens, and edible forest. Looks like there's been some snowmobiles running through here. You can see the tracks. Wow. So I haven't been out here in a long time. I think it's been over a month and maybe even 2 months. I'd have to check the last video. So I'm just going to do a check, make sure the rabbits haven't ringed our trees. Sometimes you got to watch because the snow's so high that they can get above your collars. So I hope that's not the case. So let's go check out the trees. One of the reasons I came out here today is there is a big announcement in the paper today that we have a lease, a 10-year lease for this plot of land to use for our orchard and gardens. So that's really good. That's a good start. So in 10 years,
I hope the lease gets renewed and we get another 10 or 20 years out of it, or maybe more. So yeah, that's good. This is city property and it's designated for community gardens. I'm just checking out the cedars here, or thujas. They look good. Yeah, they look really good. Nice and healthy and flexible. They haven't dried out or anything. So that's good. All the cedars I think will be fine. They're well protected. Let's check out some of the other trees. I don't know if we pruned those or the rabbits did, but that one's okay. This one is a sour cherry, and it looks fine. There's no chewing on the branches or anything. Really good. You can see how high the snow level is. Comes up quite high on the trunks. That one looks fine. I'm just trying to see if the buds are swelling. They look good. They look plump. Yeah, that one survived the winter very nicely. And that's a sweet cherry Estella. That one looks fine. No chew marks on it. Here's a quince. That one looks fine too. So far they're all looking good. I'll keep walking down the row here and out in the spiral orchard, and we'll just see if there's any problems. Here's one that's a problem. Our wrap is off. Now, how does that happen? I don't think it's the rabbits that do it. But you never know. Okay, so that's back on. And what kind of tree was that? That's a red apple. It's just beautiful out here today. That sun feels so warm. Even though it's cold outside, when the sun hits you, it just feels like you're lying on a beach. Fantastic. So all the trees in the dwarf row here look to be in good shape. There's just that one that had the collar off. Everything else looks good. So let's check out the spiral orchard now. So I'll begin on the outer edges. A little tougher to walk through this snow. That tree looks fine. There's our raspberries poking out of the snow there. So a few skidoo tracks through the middle here, which isn't so good if they run over the raspberries, but at least they don't seem to be damaging the trees. We still have our pile of wood chips out there. That's good. So all the trees so far look in good shape here. They all have their wraps on. Yeah, that's good. There's the remains of sunflowers drooping their heads, spreading their seeds. Here's our peach trees. Let me just check out the buds in those. They look okay. Yeah, they're plump. You can see a bit of color on the ends of them. If the tree died, usually the buds are kind of dried up looking and they don't have any color to them. They're kind of a brown color. Let's check this one. Yeah, see, they're fuzzy. They got color to them and they're nice and plump. That's a good sign. So that's a Reliance peach, a dwarf. We've kind of ended lockdown in this area. We're allowed to go in stores again. We've still got a social distance in that, but I think our group can get back together on Thursdays as soon as the weather gets good and we can start working in the orchard once again. I'll show you the difference between leaf buds, which are these smaller ones here. See that? So that's just leaves will come out of there, as opposed to flower buds, which are on these spurs. If you see that one. So that'll be flower. These ones up here will flower. Yeah. They're really fat, the end of these branches. Not sure why that is. Huh. Interesting. I'll have to look that up. Why they kind of go fat at the end of the branch there. It's almost like a potato or something. Interesting. Anyway, I'm sinking in the snow here. So you can see the trunk's painted white. We still have our collars. The snow level is quite high. Normally, I don't stand this high compared to the tree. Yeah, I think we've got a good layer of snow down here. There's a picnic bench out here. I can just sit here and enjoy the sunshine. Work on my facial tan. It feels good lying in the sun here. I just walked by the pile of wood chips and oh, the aroma is so beautiful. These are all spruce wood chips and they smell fantastic. So Ryan, he used to be the garden coordinator out here. He dropped these off, so that was awesome to get all these wood chips. I'm just going to check the pawpaw trees out here. Make sure they're okay and see how the buds look on those. And as I said, I've never tried a pawpaw fruit in my life, but I'm hoping someday these trees fruit and I can try one. Here's a close-up of the pawpaw. I'm just looking at the buds. I don't know. Like the tip of this branch is dead. I can tell it's all withered. But I'm hoping there's life in the tree. I mean, the trunk looks okay. It's still got that sticky dormant oil on it that we painted on. Well, hopefully it survived. The trunk looks good. It's not withered up or anything. So we'll see in spring. Last time I was out here, the rabbits were chewing on the trees that we started from seed. So I put that ring of chicken wire around them. I can't get in there to check how they're doing because there's too much snow on the ground here. I can't get the gate open. So I'll have to check on them another day. But at least the chicken wire is still around them. So hopefully that's kept the rabbits out. I don't know. I guess they could hop over and still chew on the trees, but we'll see. We'll check on them later. Here's the First Nations garden. I attended a talking circle. Todd invited me. It was really good. You just talk about how your week was. Kind of nice. They had some indigenous stories about the creation of humans and the creation of North America, Turtle Island. It was fascinating. I enjoyed it. So I'm going to try and do that every week. I think it's time to head back home now. Keep working on my temple. That'll be really fun. Hi, kitty. How are you?
Hi. Oh, good kitty. What a good kitty, eh? Yeah.
Okay, we are back. And I can't work on the temple at the moment because, again, it's sunny in the plant room. And I had to move all my trees from up top here down onto the floor where they get sunlight. I got to take advantage of the nice sunny day here. I think my camera's fogging up too. Yeah, so I'll come back to the temple later on when the sun is a little lower. It won't take too long, maybe an hour or so, and we'll be back. Today, both me and the trees in the plant room here got some sunshine today, and it felt really good. I'm going to leave the rest of the temple work for tomorrow. It's getting kind of late tonight, and I've got to water all the trees in the plant room here. So that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.